For International Women's Day, we are checking out this newly released book. Look at it. It's titled In a League of Her Own, celebrating female firsts in sports.
And here to talk more about the book and women in sports is a trailblazing sports broadcaster, the first and only female NBA scout, first woman to be awarded 6 championship rings in 2 professional sports. Please welcome author Bonnie Jill Laflin. Good morning.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Yes, it's great to have you here to talk about this important topic, and your new book. First, explain to me why you decided you needed to have the book.
I thought, there wasn't a book out here that had encompassed all the women, had been the trailblazers, the pioneers, who literally paved the way for all of us. And younger generation need to know the work ethic and what the trials and tribulations to get to that, to be successful. And I wanted the ladies to have a mentor that they could look up to, because when I was a scout, I didn't have anyone to look up to.
Yeah.
So it was really important for me to have these legends in there, like the Billie Jean Kings and the Layla Ali's and the Jackie Joyner Kerseys, but also some hidden gems like Manon Rhéaume, who's the first female to play in a hockey game, the first female jockey, Breeders' Cup, like all these different people that maybe they don't know about because there wasn't social media, and I wanted them to be celebrated and highlighted as well.
How do you choose, though?
That was what's tough, because of course I have like my wish list, and so I'm like, if I don't get Billie Jean King, I can't do this book. So she said yes, and she was happy to be involved, and then I only had 9 months, Hazel, to write it. So I had to literally like kind of figure out whose schedule permitted, who didn't have a conflict because they had a book coming out, or different things like that. But I literally got basically everyone I wanted, and hopefully I can do like a second book so that I can have Caitlin Clark and different other women who've been really trailblazers.
And you were a first, right? And you're talking to other firsts. So you all have similar experiences. What were those conversations like, and the similarities and differences between being a scout, being the first female tennis player, whatever it may have been?
Yes, it was a lot of the sacrifices that we'd all had made. I think we all agreed that we didn't have the holidays, the weekends, missing birthdays, missing weddings, missing, all the different things that some of us, people take for granted. We're like, oh, wow, you don't get to experience all that. Some of the women I spoke to didn't end up having kids or getting married, or marriages didn't work out because of the career. So it was really, all of us kind of could be on that same level, that we knew what we sacrificed. And at the time, you don't really realize when you're in it that you're also a role model to other younger women. So you have to set that precedent out there. And then you kind of figure out, when you remove yourself from the sport, that maybe there's other decisions you would have made differently, or different things, your emotions get the best of you and you did something crazy to the media, or different athletes were telling me things like that. And so that was basically, we all had the same, different careers, but kind of parallels in a lot of it.
Can we talk about your story, though? I mean, because it didn't happen overnight, and you were a dancer for 3 different teams, right?
Yes.
I mean, that's not the normal path you would think for someone who ends up being a sports agent.
Right, yeah. So what happened was, some people think I just dropped the palms and went right into scouting. It wasn't like that. It was time in between.
Exactly.
So I was a dancer for a long time, but then I got my degree, and then I was a broadcast journalism degree, and then from there I was covering the Lakers for the pre and post game, and they saw that I had an eye for talent, and they saw that I could break down the triangle offense and saw something different. So I basically interned, non-paying for a year so I could prove myself, and they liked my work, they liked my scouting reports. They gave me a 5-year deal, and ended up being there for 13 years and got 5 rings, and it all worked out. There was a lot of pressures, of course, but it worked out in the end because of my resiliency and tenacity.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And so I was going to say, what kind of pressure did you feel being the first?
A lot. I was trying to fit in with the boys because I was the only female. So I didn't wear any makeup. I'd throw my hair up in a ball cap. I'd wear these baggy Jordan sweats, tennis shoes, walking and talking like the boys. And one of the assistant coaches, Brian Shaw, goes, "Why are you talking like that? Why are you doing?" I'm like, well, I'm not comfortable in my own skin at the time, if that makes sense. I was trying to fit in so much that I wanted to be one of the boys. And finally he said, you know what, your knowledge, your credibility is going to come off. What don't have them think of you as you're a female, just let them realize the knowledge you have for the game and for hoops. And it took a while for me to embrace that. Kobe Bryant was a mentor of mine, and he really instilled in me in that, like, it's fine that you have the naysayers, it's fine you have the haters, it's fine you have the doubters. That should fuel you. That should make sure that you never have mediocrity, that you're never complacent, that you keep having that chip on your shoulder, so to speak. And I still feel like I'm like that today.
Well, that's amazing. Before we let you go, just real quickly, we want to tell, I mean, you still give back. You found hounds and Heroes and Horses. It's
Yes,
a
ma'am.
nonprofit.
Yes, and what we do is we use rescue animals and we pair them up with combat veterans that are dealing with PTS, TBI, amputees as well, and then also disabled children and fallen soldiers' children, and have them come out to the ranch and be able to have these therapy animals to make a difference.
That's awesome. Bonnie, great stuff.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks for the book. I'm looking forward. You're going to write a second one?
I hope so.
All right, there
yeah,
you go.
And I'll be back.
All right, there you go. In a league of her own right there. It is available wherever books are sold, right? And then on Amazon, all the good places,
Yep.
right?